all I can say is wow, just wow. I thought Netflix was a progressive company. I thought Netflix was at the forefront of progressive and inclusive values. I mean, they always make sure to overrepresent black people relative to their percentage of the population. They dramatically overrepresent LGBTQ people in proportion to their percentage of the population. They gave us the chilling adventures of Sabrina, and they brought us the landmark coming of age story, Cuties. I'm shocked I was able to keep in character for saying that. But back to character. So I like Snowpiercer. It's a pretty good show. Netflix doesn't do a bad job with some of their dystopian stuff. The platform wasn't bad. I liked the 3%. There was a lot of problems with it, particularly in later seasons. But it was pretty good. Snowpiercer, I think, does an okay job with moral ambiguity, dealing with political stuff. It's a good sci-fi series. I find it pretty interesting. And I was excited to see season 2. And I started watching season 2, and it's like, I don't know if the people who made this show were alt-right. I don't know if they're like far right, if they're Trump supporters or something, but I saw some stuff that's like really problematic and concerning in this season. So let's just take a step back for a minute. So at the end of season 1, Mr. Wilford, I don't really want to go through the entire plot of season 1, but he's the guy who funded the construction of Snowpiercer and basically just wanted Snowpiercer to be a neoliberal paradise of everybody having sex and doing drugs while the world ended. But his head engineer who built the Eternal Engine, Melanie, stole it and decided to use Snowpiercer as an arc to preserve humanity from destruction in the neoliberal hellhole. So Mr. Wilford shows up with Big Alice, which is the secondary train, and he attaches his train to the back of Snowpiercer. And now he's in a position of control. He can stop his train and stop Snowpiercer and freeze everybody on board. And he has all kinds of other options. So what winds up happening is they connect it to the tail. So for those of you who didn't watch season 1, the tail is where all the stowaways went, who are the underclass of Snowpiercer. They aren't even part of the class system, and they've been basically kept back there in prison for the last couple decades, or I guess the last 8 years or however long the train's been going for. And so now it is the border, and they're going to call it a border. And it's the border between Big Alice, which is full of loyalists to Mr. Wilford, and Snowpiercer, which is, I guess, nominally democratic, but is basically led by a military junta at the moment, in which Andre Layden basically holds absolute power. And so you have this border territory, this no man's land in between. And when Layden is being asked about this and they're trying to decide what to do, he says something that I frankly find really shocking. So we're just going to watch a 3-second clip that'll probably get this video taken down. But okay, so this is Layden. He's in tail commenting on the 2 trains.
Here's where I'm going with this. The tail is not the tail anymore, it's a border, and you have to control a border. So keep a force strong enough back here to hold the real estate.
7 years.
Whoa, wait, whoa. Let's just play that back. Let's play that back, because I thought I heard something that was like fascist rhetoric there.
Wanna leave.
Look, here's where I'm going with this. The tail is not the tail anymore, it's a border, and you have to control a border. So keep a force strong enough back here to hold the real estate.
7 years.
So wait a minute. So this show made by neo-fascists is saying you have to control a border. See, they're imposing this artificial border because they don't want to let in a subversive population in the form of Mr. Wilford loyalists who will disperse themselves among the general population of Snowpiercer and publish propaganda and hijack the And so okay, let me just take a step back. Okay, so the concern is that Mr. Wilford is going to send his fanatical loyalists over to Snowpiercer, and they're going to start publishing pro-Wilford propaganda. They're going to advocate for the destruction of the border and open movement between the two trains, and they're going to try to subvert the democracy, probably through bribery, like I said, propaganda, infiltration. They do false flags later on in the season to try to get them to become pro-Wilford, so Wilford can just walk in and take control. And this sounds an awful lot like how far-right people describe immigration, and particularly describe like Jews in the Israel lobby. Because like you're having they're presenting this idea that there's minorities in society, particularly ones that come in through immigration, that actively subvert the society that they immigrate into. And the only way to protect the core society, in this case, like there's the one neo-fascist who they're like, whose side are you on? And she's like, I'm on the side of Snowpiercer. She's not on the side of like global humanity. She's on the side of her train, not both trains together. Because they talk about one train, but when it comes down to it, they prefer their train over the other train. And once again, it's hate. But they're saying, like, we have to restrict immigration, we have to restrict the border. More than that, they're saying, like, we have to have armed forces on the border. They have all these guys with spears and shields and stuff like that, and they're preventing people from crossing over. And it's just, I don't know who made this show. I don't know if, like, Andrew Anglin made it. But it's ridiculous that this could be made in that day and age. I mean, you need to control it. Let's just listen to that again, because I can't believe it.
Wanna leave.
Like, here's where I'm going with this. The tail is not the tail anymore, it's a border, and you have to control a border. So keep a force strong enough back here to hold the real estate.
7 years we've been trying to get...
I don't know. This show is, like, extreme right. I don't know, like, who came up with this. I don't know who made this, but it's got to stop. Someone's got to stand up to the neo-fascist organization Netflix. That's all I can say. I'm just so disgusted.